In dispatch this past Tuesday night, I promised to show you how I do continuous running and point-to-point running on my layout. Well, I'm going to show you how I do it, starting right now. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. For the past few weeks, I've been renovating the Evanston and Granger areas of my layout. Today I'm setting aside that ongoing renovation long enough to show you how I do both continuous running and point-to-point running on my layout. Never fear, I will come back to the renovation next Saturday. In today's episode, you're going to see lots of trains running. That's the kind of thing we do on this channel. We share the hobby of model railroading. If you like to share the hobby, then be sure to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. In order to show you trains running both point-to-point and continuously on my layout, I first have to share my track plan with you. The track plan for my layout includes 2 continuous loops, both folded over on themselves. Here's the first of those 2 loops, indicated by the red line. This red line depicts the part of the Union Pacific's Evanston subdivision that I model. The secret for both continuous running and point-to-point running on my layout is the staging yard, which is located below Green River. The staging yard represents everything off layout to the east and to the west of the area I'm modeling. Take a look at the track plan, starting with the staging yard. Westbound trains depart the right end of the staging yard. They climb the eastern helix and pass White Mountain, which sits atop the eastern helix. Trains then continue through Green River, where the main classification on my layout is located. At Granger Junction, they can continue westward through Evanston and Echo Canyon before descending the western helix back down to staging. Eastbound trains can return from staging by running in the opposite direction. Here you see the second loop indicated by the green line. The Pocatello subdivision links up to the Evanston subdivision at Granger Junction. From Granger Junction, the Pocatello subdivision takes westbound trains west-northwest through Pocatello, and after descending the helix, to points further west represented in staging. For point-to-point running, trains stop in staging. The locomotives do a runaround to the other end of the train, and then the train heads back in the direction it just came. For continuous running, trains don't stop in staging, they just keep right on going. And here's another option for continuous running. I am able to run my trains on the upper level without sending them down the helices to the staging on the track indicated by orange. Sometimes visitors just want to see trains running, and sometimes so do I. This option is ideal just for watching trains running. Now let's run some trains so that you can see how this actually works on my layout. Most of what you are about to see was filmed with a drone, because drone views more closely approximate the track plan you just saw. Let's start with point-to-point running. Point-to-point running is very prototypical. It creates the illusion that trains go someplace and then come back. This eastbound tank car train departs the staging yard en route to the oil refinery at Sinclair, Wyoming. It climbs the western helix to reach the scenic part of my layout. The train passes through Echo Canyon, which is the best spot for rail fanning, both on the prototype and on my layout. The train now arrives at Evanston and Granger Junction on my layout. This is the area of my layout that I have been currently renovating. You've seen me working on it in recent videos. The train is now crossing Green River and in a moment will arrive at the western end of the classification yard in the town of Green River. The train will stop here for a crew change. With a new crew now aboard, the train continues eastbound. The train is now passing White Mountain, which sits atop the eastern helix. The helix takes the train down to staging tracks representing Cheyenne and all points east. The train is now arriving at its destination in staging. The locomotives uncouple and do a runaround to the other end of the train. The locomotives couple up to the other end of the train, and the train begins its return trip. As you can see, this is an example of a point-to-point run because the train goes someplace to the east and then returns to the west, all thanks to the staging yard. The same kind of point-to-point running can be done on the green loop of my layout. Here you see a train passing through Evanston and Granger Junction en route to Pocatello and points west in staging. The train is now passing through Pocatello. It is about to descend the helix to staging. In staging, the locomotives will do a runaround like you saw previously, and the train will then return to its origin. Now I'm going to show you some examples of continuous running. You are watching a loaded coal train as it enters staging. It will not stop in staging. The locomotives will not do a runaround. The train will keep right on going through staging. Then it will ascend the eastern helix and continue westward with its load of coal. And here empties arrive in staging. This train also will not stop in staging to do a runaround. It runs eastward continuously, representing a return of empties to the Powder River Basin minefields in eastern Wyoming. Empties running in one direction and loads running in the opposite direction is an example of continuous running. As with point-to-point running, the illusion of empties and loads running continuously in opposite directions is made possible by the staging yard. As I mentioned earlier, trains can also run continuously on a loop on the upper level of my layout without descending the helices, depicted by the orange route. This amounts to running trains just for fun, and it's especially good when visitors stop by or when I just want to run some trains without any fancy operations. I don't have to worry about the trains disappearing for a period of time in the helices or staging. Now, wasn't that fun? Well, the fun is just beginning. You can go to more videos like this one just by clicking here. I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.